Long before archery became a sport or a military tactic, it lived in the realm of gods and heroes. The bow and arrow weren't just tools. They were symbols of divine power, cosmic order, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. In ancient Greece, Apollo wielded his silver bow not just as a weapon, but as an instrument of justice and plague. When the Greeks dishonored his priest at Troy, Apollo's arrows brought disease to their camps. But the same god who could bring death could also bring healing. His arrows could cure as well as kill. Apollo's bow represented the duality of power, creation and destruction balanced on a single string. His twin sister Artemis took archery in a different direction entirely. As the goddess of the hunt and the moon, her bow was about precision, patience, and the sacred relationship between predator and prey. Artemis didn't just hunt for sport. She maintained the balance of nature itself. Her arrows were said to bring swift, painless death to women in childbirth, which the Greeks considered a mercy. In her hands, the bow became a tool of natural order. But perhaps no mythological archer captures the imagination quite like Hou Yi from Chinese legend. When 10 suns appeared in the sky, threatening to scorch the earth, Hou Yi drew his bow and shot down 9 of them, leaving only one to provide light and warmth. This wasn't just marksmanship, it was cosmic intervention. Hou Yi's bow could reach the heavens themselves. The Norse had Ullr, the god of archery and skiing, whose bow was crafted from yew wood so perfectly that it became a symbol of reliability. Warriors would swear oaths on Ullr's ring, and his very name meant glory. In the harsh Nordic landscape, archery wasn't just divine, it was survival. Hindu tradition gave us Arjuna, whose archery skills were legendary even among gods. In the Mahabharata, Arjuna could shoot arrows by sound alone, hitting targets he couldn't see. His bow, Gandiva, was said to be indestructible, and his arrows never missed their mark. But Arjuna's greatest feat wasn't his accuracy, it was his focus. In one famous test, when asked what he saw while aiming at a bird in a tree, Arjuna replied that he saw only the bird's eye, not the tree, not the bird, just the eye. This level of concentration became a model for spiritual practice. Native American traditions are rich with archer spirits and heroes. The Lakota spoke of hunters whose arrows could find their targets across impossible distances, guided by animal spirits. The Cherokee told of Kanati, the first hunter, whose bow provided for all humanity. These weren't just hunting stories, they were teachings about respect, reciprocity, and the sacred nature of taking life to sustain life. What's fascinating is how these myths, developed independently across continents, share common themes. The bow appears again and again as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. It's a tool that requires both physical skill and mental discipline, making it perfect for representing the human struggle to transcend limitations. In Persian mythology, Arash the archer shot an arrow to determine the border between Persia and Turin. His arrow flew for a day and a night before landing, establishing boundaries that would last for generations. The bow here becomes a tool of nation building, of creating order from chaos. These mythological archers weren't just good shots. They were embodiments of human potential. They showed us what we might become if we could perfect not just our aim, but our purpose. Apollo's precision, Artemis's patience, Hou Yi's courage, Arjuna's focus. These weren't just archery skills, they were life skills. The bow in mythology serves as a metaphor for human will directed toward a purpose. The archer must be calm, focused, and decisive. There's no taking back an arrow once it's released. This finality, this commitment, is what makes the bow such a powerful symbol in stories meant to teach us about character and destiny. Even today, when we talk about aiming high or hitting the mark, we're drawing on thousands of years of mythological tradition that saw the bow and arrow as tools for achieving the impossible.